Man, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of EOS. It's 1090 Jake, and I'm rocking with y'all, and y'all rocking with me. And for this video, we're shooting in the daytime because I had to wait until the morning for the paperwork to drop. But for this video, we're going to be speaking on YNW Melly no longer facing the death penalty after the state dubbed. July 6, 2022, YNW Melly would take one of his first major wins in Broward County Court as the news passed on to his family and those close to his case. It was officially announced in court that Melly is no longer facing the death penalty as the courts granted Melly's motion to take away the state's ability to seek death against him. Now, to summarize the case so far, back in February of 2019, Melly was indicted on 2 counts of first-degree murder with a firearm, which is defined as premeditated murder. Under Florida law, that carries a max punishment of state execution. Only 2 months after his initial indictment, the state filed a notice of intent to seek the death penalty, making this one of the craziest murder cases in hip-hop, as a rapper now stood charged with the deaths of his 2 friends and facing the same outcome. A superseding indictment from February of 2022 would accuse Melly of committing both murders for the purpose of benefiting, promoting, or furthering the interests of a criminal street gang. Now, to secure a death penalty conviction, the state would need to prove beyond a reasonable doubt the following aggravating factors. The capital felony was committed for pecuniary gain, meaning money. The capital felony was especially heinous, atrocious, or cruel. The capital felony was a homicide and was committed in a cold, calculated, and premeditated manner. And 4, that the capital felony was committed by a gang member. The state weakly attempted to have a detective claim Melly committed the murders because he may or may not financially benefit. As the detective said in court, he assumed that Melly would obtain the money allegedly owed to the victims. The detective claimed it was especially cruel that Melly had allegedly murdered 2 of his childhood friends. The detective alleged premeditation based on his findings of the shooting taking place in a remote area, and he further alleges Melly is a gang member. But none of that shit matters now, as the death penalty has completely been taken off the table due to the state fucking the case up for themselves. Melly's lawyer argued that death should be thrown out due to the fact that the state failed to file a notice of intent to seek the death penalty within 45 days of the superseding indictment. The state attempted to argue, but Melly's lawyers were able to cite cases that swayed the courts in their favor. Because the state intended to seek death in Melly's original indictment, which no longer has any legal effect, they were required to follow up with a notice of intent to seek death 45 days after the superseding indictment. And because the state prosecutor is so intent on punishing Melly to benefit her own career, she fucked up and took the L in court. But the battle is far from over. Melly still faces the possibility of life in prison for both murders. And what's great about this win for Melly is the fact that the detective and the prosecutor worked so damn hard to prove a gang affiliation that now essentially holds no weight in court. As even if it was true, it has nothing to do with the case. Meaning all that time trying to paint a picture against Melly was wasted. And we'll just have to wait and see what new angle the state plans on taking at trial. Now, this is huge. This is major. He's no longer facing the death penalty. Obviously, he's still facing a life sentence. There is no parole in the state of Florida. So if he's hit with life, multiple life sentences, or if they just say, fuck it, we're going to do 100, 200, 300 years, God forbid, there's no parole. You know what I mean? You're stuck with what you have. But it's the little things. The littlest things, and by little things I mean mistakes, is what wins cases. There's plenty of people that most likely should have been convicted, and there's plenty of people that shouldn't be. But they win cases by the state fucking up. In this case, all the state had to do was file another intent to seek death after the superseding indictment, and Melly would still be literally facing the death penalty, but they fucked up, which makes me wonder What else have they fucked up with? They're trying so hard to convict this kid on these two things, right? They're trying so hard because how's it gonna look? I'm the one that convicted Melly. I'm the big bad prosecutor. You know what I mean? But when your mind is intent on something, when your mind is so focused at the end, at the I'm gonna be the one that gets this trophy of convicting this kid and sentencing him to death, you're not focused on the middle. You're not focused on everything you need to have in order. I mean, maybe she is, maybe she isn't. But it's little things like this that just show the inconsistency in their argument in the case. You literally had a detective say in court, I assume Melly would get the money from those two dying. Assumptions don't win cases. But like I said, we'll just have to wait and see how it plays out. It's 1090 Jake. I'm rocking with y'all. Y'all rocking with me. Till next time.